So in addition to the $266 a month for child support, you add the $130. Your child support obligation monthly comes out to. You all may be seated. Okay, Mr. Kennedy, you brought this case before the court.
Yes, ma'am.
What's going on?
So I'm sharing custody with our 12-year-old daughter now, and I'm just wanting a little more help with finances because as she's getting older, expenses are getting a little higher, and sports, dances, going out hanging with girls, and yeah, I just want a little more help on my end. I'm paying insurance already. And,
okay. How much are you paying in insurance?
$130.
All right. And what is your daughter's name?
Autumn.
Autumn. Oh, what a beautiful name.
Thank you.
Autumn. Okay. So what type of expenses does she have that are increasing?
Yeah, so she's doing volleyball right now, and we're thinking that she's going to be doing that in high school as well.
Okay.
So it just, athletic wear and then traveling, going to places. I want to go and support her and as well as her, but I'm the one having to drive and take her if I don't want her to ride the bus because I don't feel her safe doing that.
Okay. Is this a school bus or?
Yeah, it's a school bus.
With her teammates?
With her teammates, yes.
And you don't feel that she should, ride with her teammates?
If it's really far away, maybe like an hour or more, I'll
Okay.
drive her. But, if it's 30 minutes or less, I'll usually let her typically go.
Okay. That's understandable. Okay. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to her?
She's just a growing girl, and girls are expensive, as they say. So.
All right, folks, buckle up. This man is out here trying to fund his daughter's Olympic dreams on a middle-class budget while mom's sipping mimosas with a CEO and pretending she's broke. Like, sis, you upgraded your husband but downgraded your responsibilities? Let's dive in because this case gets even crazier.
Ma'am, is there anything you want to add or subtract from what he said?
Yes, Your Honor, I do feel that he's trying to take advantage of my new relationship.
Okay. Tell me about this new relationship.
Well, I can't really help who I have fallen in love with. So my new husband is a fantastic provider. However, I do get an allowance, and it isn't as much as you would think coming from. Well, my husband's a CEO of an energy company, so you would expect a huge allowance, but obviously he has to protect all of his hard-earned income.
What type of allowance do you receive?
About $500 a week.
$500 a week, okay. All right.
So, which really isn't that big a deal. Obviously.
That big a deal in terms of the amount of money, or you paying child support for the child living with him and having increased expense?
Well, I don't think it's that big a deal to Mr. Kennedy.
The case kicks off with Mr. Kennedy laying it all out. He shares custody of his 12-year-old daughter, Autumn, and needs help with rising costs, school sports, social events, and the usual tween chaos. He's already covering her medical insurance and driving her to volleyball games, making sure she doesn't end up as the star of a missing child documentary. The judge listens as he explains why he's uncomfortable with Autumn riding long distances with teammates. It's not about being petty, it's about being a responsible co-parent. Because let's face it, road trip roulette isn't the safest game to play with your kid. From the start, it's clear. Mr. Kennedy's here for his daughter. No drama.
Because he has a pretty healthy income himself.
But you do understand his income does not have anything to do with an increase in what you should be paying in child support, right?
Yes, I understand that, but what
Okay.
I don't think has been considered yet is the fact that I set aside furthering my education, though I wanted to pursue that, so that he could go get his MIS degree and then a master's in something. So I'm not sure that it's fair. I would like to consider all the money that wasn't spent on me that should have been spent on me while we were married.
Okay, yeah, no, that's not how this works. And sir, she says she gets a $500 a week allowance from her husband, and who is a CEO of an energy company. Briefly, how much money does your husband make?
I'm really not sure.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's a lot.
It's a lot?
I think so.
When you say a lot, is it like in the 200,000s, 300,000s?
Well, the car that he drives was about 200,000. So I'm thinking you'd probably have to
You
make
only
more
get a
than that.
$500 a week. You know what? That's not my business. That's not the reason I'm here.
Now it's Mom's turn. and she starts off in a totally different direction. Forget Autumn, she's talking about her new marriage to a CEO. Yeah, the CEO part definitely gets the room's attention. But then she throws in that she only gets a $500 weekly allowance from her rich husband. Her tone screams, not that much. But the math clearly says otherwise. Unless she is a next-level mathematician with a new theory, the judge picks up on that pretty quickly and starts peeling back the layers. What started as a soft excuse rapidly turns into a reality check. She wants credit for falling in love. But let's be real, the courtroom isn't exactly the place for a rom-com plotline. The spotlight is shifting fast, and Karma is ready to appear like Goku with instant transmission, and it's becoming clear she's about to get a financial wake-up call she didn't sign up for.
I'm not going to even entertain that.
That's what I was thinking, too.
I'll just move on. Sir, do you know how much money her husband makes a year?
I don't, but he's the Steve Jobs of the town of energy, so to say.
So let me ask you this. Are you expecting her child support to be based on his Steve Jobs?
No, his success has nothing to do with me or my daughter or our daughter. And like I said, I just want a little more help because she's getting older. And, if she's happily married with whoever and how big his wallet is, that is totally up to her.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that's not what you were doing because you can't do that anyway. But what we can do, ma'am, is make you pay more in child support because at this point you've been paying zero. Because from what I see, you're a stay-at-home mom, which is absolutely okay. But you do understand that your child has increased expenses, correct?
Yes, I do see that.
Okay, so after yes, I do see that, that means that I don't need any further response. So you understand that, right?
Well, how much are we talking about?
We're going to base it off that $500 a week allowance that you make.
Okay.
So, based on that, I have your gross at $2,000 a month. After you take out the calculations for...
Mom tries to steer the conversation away again, this time pointing out Mr. Kennedy's healthy income and implying that he's really just fine without extra support. But then, out of nowhere, she drops a bombshell. She wants credit for putting her own career on hold so he could pursue his education. Now she's asking for retroactive payback for those sacrifices she made during the marriage. But the judge isn't having it. She quickly shuts that down, reminding Mom that the court's job is to deal with child support for today, not to resolve old emotional debts or hand out payback for past decisions. The mood shifts, and it's clear that no matter how much her CEO husband makes, it's not going to shield her from her responsibilities. The real reality check has just landed.
The taxes, your net comes out to $1,662.53, okay? That would give you a child support obligation of $266. However, you also heard him say that he pays $130, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
In medical insurance for the child. You're going to have to reimburse that to him. So, in addition to the $266 a month for child support, you add the $130, your child support obligation monthly comes out to $396.
Can I say something?
Sure, but make it brief.
Okay, well, I don't know if he's still subscribing to the same psychic, but she charges, I think it's $412 a month.
Okay.
And
what does this psychic have to do with these numbers?
Well, because I just feel like if he can afford the psychic, then maybe he can afford the insurance. And I guess I feel that that is money that could have gone towards my education while we were married.
Okay, well, I've already said no to that. That has nothing to do with me. I mean, you should address that in your divorce, obviously. And whatever he pays, if he chooses to do that, that has nothing to do with your responsibility, your financial responsibility to your daughter. So if there's nothing further from either of you, you all are dismissed.
Thank you.
Mr. Kennedy stays composed, calmly setting the record straight. He's not after the CEO's fortune. He just wants some fair support for their daughter. The $500 weekly allowance she's been getting, that's now the baseline for her new child support obligations. She's been riding on loopholes, but now the court's recalculated everything. The number might not be huge, but the message is loud and clear. She's officially responsible. If you like this, hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget to ring the notification bell. because karma just served her a reality check she won't forget.